video, we're going to take a look at the best soundboard for streamers. What is it? The Elgato Stream Deck Plus. I've been a fan of the Elgato Stream Deck Plus since it came out, but did you know you can use it as a sound mixer as well? This video is sponsored by Elgato. Thank you so much. I'm using the Elgato Wave DX microphone with the Elgato Wave XLR. But did you know you can use any microphone with the Elgato Stream Deck Plus? Trui, of course I can use a Stream Deck with another mic, it doesn't matter. Okay, I get you, but what I'm trying to say is you can use the Wave Link software. For those of you that don't know, this is the Wave Link software, and in the Wave Link software, you can split your audio. Why is this important? For example, you're playing a game, but your audience isn't hearing the game loud enough. And you are hearing it so loud in your headphones. I had this when I started streaming that they just couldn't hear the game, but my ears were hurting. With this software, we can redirect the game to come in here, and we can say, hey, we want to hear it louder on our headphones or less loud on our headphones, and louder or less loud on the stream. This is our headphone output, and this is the stream output. But not only with the game we can do this with music as well. So I just put some music on, and we can see it comes into the music here. And we can put it louder for you. Or for me. We can also mute it for you. And now you guys should not be able to hear it, but I do. I still hear it. Okay, this looks odd because you guys don't hear it, but I hear music. But we can also do this with the browser volume. So if you're playing something on YouTube or showing something on the browser, we can say like, oh, the stream needs to hear it less loud or louder than me. We can do that with voice chat in Discord, for example. So here we have Discord and we click on user settings. Then we go to voice and video. And here we can set the input device and output device. If we set the input device on either Wavelink microphone or Wavelink FX, and we set the output device to Wavelink voice chat, what it will happen is in here, voice chat will come in right here. And we can say the stream needs to hear it louder or not louder. Or we do have to hear it louder or not louder, or even mute it for the stream. So somebody can give you directions on a game without the stream actually hearing it. So then you got like a producer voice in your headset. You got system sound, so I have them muted, which means that if you have USBs that go into your computer, the stream doesn't hear him. I have my OBS in here, so if I play sounds through alerts, they will come in here, but also like if I have my capture card, the sound will come through here. The sound effects one, this is a little special because if you click on route to microphone, what you can do is you can have your sound effects actually go to the route to microphone output, which I shortly already talked about here. The two channels, this Wavelink microphone and the Wavelink microphone FX. So we have the FX here and the mic in is here. This is just the raw mic. If you use the one with FX, everything that comes into this channel will be sent with the microphone. I'm going to explain this a little bit further in this video, so check that out. And then here I have the sounds for the Stream Decks. But you basically have two virtual cables, AUX 1 and 2, and you can set them on whatever you want. So you can recall this, you can rename this to something else. So if you have something that you want to regulate differently than other sounds, you can just use those two for that. You also don't need to use the browser for browser things. You can use them for something else. You can rename them if you want to, but I like the ones that are standard in here, so I'm not going to reuse them. As you see, my microphone, the Wave XLR, is coming in here, but you can also just use another microphone that isn't from Elgato. Doesn't have to be a microphone from Elgato as long as you have the Stream Deck Plus. So the Stream Deck Plus unlocks this software and you can just use it for free. I think this is the most powerful digital mixer there is, and it's easy to understand as well. I think this software makes this the best mixing table for streaming. And because it's also a Stream Deck, you can use the Stream Deck software, which we have right here, to control things as well. For example, what I've set things on right now is the microphone. So we have a knob here, and if I turn this, you will see the microphone will go less loud or louder. And here we have the system sound, the game sound, the music. I've got some more tabs for other things right here. Cool thing is you can swipe over the screen and you will go to the next page. So if I swipe, whoop, I go to page 2. If I swipe, whoop, we go to page 3. I have set up my microphone, but if I click the button instead of like turn it, you will see that it has a headphones instead of this icon. This icon means stream. This icon means headphones. So what I can do is I can turn my microphone for myself down, so now I don't hear myself as loud anymore, or turn it back up without actually influencing the stream mix. Do that with all these others as well. And these are basically maps. So I made like a dial map here. And if I click on it, I can switch between Wavelink input mic monitor and Wavelink input stream monitor. You can set these up yourself. You can just go to Wavelink here, input and output devices. I'm using input devices right here, which is the microphone. And you can just select which mix you want to use. If you want also monitor and stream, just stream or only monitor to be affected. And if you make a dial stack, you can just click through and add multiple. It will automatically add the visuals here as well for that button, so you can see what's going on. You can actually switch these to other visuals if you want to, but I'm kind of satisfied with the way it looks already, so I'm not going to put too much effort into it. I know, I can make it look pretty, but for me it's more important that you guys have a stream that looks pretty than that I have buttons that look pretty. If you want to, you can make it look super pretty, but I just want it to be functional. We can also put the output on a dial instead of the input, and we can have the monitor or stream mix or both. And the step size of how fast you want it to go if you turn the button. You can put these on the buttons as well. And then you can set, adjust, and mute. So you can set a certain volume. You can adjust by turning or clicking the button. Or mute, so then it's muted. And then you select the output here. So you have monitor mix, stream mix. Which one do you want to adjust? And the title. Another thing you can do with the Stream Deck Plus, which is really cool, is add sounds. So you can use it as a soundboard with buttons. So here I have the set violin, and if I click on that, it will go off. And I set it to like Wavelink's sound effects. So if you go in here, we can see that it comes in here. I can turn it down a bit for you guys, or for myself. You can see that it goes like lower there as well. And we can stop it again by pressing it again. I've got more here that I've added. So let's go to another page which has an empty button still. And how do we do this? How do we add the buttons that are actually playing the sounds? It's called Soundboard. And it says play audio. And we can just drag it in. Then here we can give it a title. Hello. You can see the title actually appearing here and on your Stream Deck. You can select a file from your computer, and then here you can say, what does it do if I press the button? Standard, it will play and stop the music. If you press once, it will play. If you press twice, it will stop. You can also set it on play and overlap, so if you press it twice, it will start again, but it will overlap the first time. Play and restart, so you click it once, it plays. Click it twice, it will restart from the start. Loop, so if you click, it will loop forever or stop. We also can fade in or out and fade in and out. So basically, if you have a graph from audio, it will go like this. You might know that from video editing. Otherwise, it will be softer at the start and go louder. And then at the end, it will fade out. So it will be loud and it goes quieter before it ends. Here, you can set the volume of how loud you want it to be. And the output. If you use the Wave Link software, this is important because you probably want to send it to the sound effects panel. Click on here and we click Wave Link sound effects. And now it will come into this mix. You can actually make it louder or less loud for the stream and for yourself in here again. You can also move these, which I accidentally did just now, but you can move these from place if you use one more than the other one. This is not it yet. If we go to the Wave Link here, we can actually select device as well. We can set and toggle output device and toggle hardware device. So what we can do here is we can set the output device to be, instead of our headphones, be our speakers. I don't have speakers installed right now, but they will be in here as well. Or you can toggle between your headphones and your speakers. It's a virtual speaker now, it's not an actual one. But if I click that, I can toggle between my headphones and my speakers. So if I don't want to use my headphones, I can quickly switch between them. I don't have to unplug them or anything. So that's a really cool feature of it. And then we also have effects. And effects, we can toggle an effect and chain an effect. Let's say we toggle an effect on the microphone. Now I don't have any filters yet. So what we can do is in the software here, we can add a filter. For the microphone, there is this button here, and we can add an audio filter. Elgato has some standard ones, an equalizer, a noise removal, and you have NVIDIA Broadcast one, which is basically a super good removal of background noise. I also have some other things installed here, which you can also use. So if you use VST plugins, you can install them in your computer, and they will just be in here. And I'm going to add one of the standard Elgato ones. We're going to add the equalizer. Okay, this is the equalizer. And I'm not super good with audio, but as you see, they've added some hints here for what it does. I can sound like I have a cold, dragging this down. Now I should sound like I have a cold. Or dragging it up. We can add more points. We can have more of a boomy voice. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There's also like this book thing here, which actually helps you with how it works. So how you can click it, how you can drag them. And there's this info button, which tells you more and gives you tips. Too much leads to boominess, a little lets the voice sound thin. So you can change all these, you can make it boxy, warm, sub bass. So you have the lows and the highs that you can add. A lot of people do this to their voice. I'm not really an audio expert, I'm just a streamer like you guys, so I'm not gonna mess too much with this. If I wanna do that, I have a very unique voice. It's really hard to do that if you don't know anything about audio. If you're a guy, usually you want to add some boom, some warmth, because then you sound a little bit more radio-like. As a girl, it's kind of weird to add a dark, boomy voice, I would say. So I'm not gonna do that. But what we can do is now we have added this equalizer. And as you see, it's on. We can also turn it off. And you can say you can hear it on stream or just on the headphones. And then if we drag in this effect, so the effect from here, we can toggle this effect, the equalizer. And now we can just click on this button. Now it's off, and now it's on. Off, on. And you can do this with other effects as well. And because they're VST plugins, you can have anything you want. An echo in your voice, you can have a high-pitched voice, a low-pitched voice. You can sound like a robot, you can sound like you're in a church, in a tin can. Whatever you can think of, VST plugins can help you achieve that. There's a lot of VST plugins out there, and you can just set them up with the Elgato Wave software, and you can trigger them with your Stream Deck. Then we also have the volume controller right here, auto detect things or manual detect. So if we do manual detect, we can set an application. So for example, Discord, we can set the audio, we can adjust the audio or mute the audio with this application, or we can auto do that. So if we delete this again, we can add the other one. It will do it for all the apps or only the active apps. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with information because the Stream Deck Plus can do so much with audio. It is insane. And again, not just for people with an Elgato mic, but also people that aren't using an Elgato mic. So if you're using a cheapo mic, you can still use this Stream Deck Plus and regulate your audio, which is so much better than what I used to have when I started streaming. If you want to know more about the Stream Deck Plus, I do have a video where I unpack it and test it and just my first look at it. Let's jump into that video right now and I'll see you right there. Again, thanks Elgato for sponsoring this video. I genuinely love this product. I've been using it since it came out and it just won my heart. It's just so good. It's just such a good mixer and so small, which makes it perfect.